In this video, I'm going to teach you how to buy a house using your VA eligibility. You know, your VA if you're in the military. Edric here, your Fayetteville Realtor. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to buy a house using your veterans eligibility, or what most people call your VA eligibility, and get your certificate. You know, a lot of my friends are asking me, they say, Edric, how do I buy a house using my VA? I say, great question, let me tell you. And I'm going to tell you in this video. So the first thing that you have to do is get lender approval. That means you have to go to a bank. It could be the bank that you already bank with, but it's probably a good thing to ask your realtor for some advice. They know which lenders know how to do VA, and you don't want to end up in a process that makes you want to pull your hair out. Once you met the realtor and you met your lender and you've gotten a pre-approval, you're off to home shopping. But what does it take to get pre-approved is what most people want to know. Is my credit going to get pulled? Well, yes, your credit has to get pulled. Lenders want to make sure that you're a responsible buyer, which means you have to have decent credit scores. And what's a decent credit score? Most lenders will approve you for a VA loan if you have a 620 to a 640 mid score. But there are some variations to that, so make sure you ask your lender. The second thing is you want to have a debt to income ratio that's within the guidelines of the lender. Debt to income ratios mean that out of a certain amount of money that you make per month, how much do you save and actually how much do you spend? So if you spend every dollar that you make, it's kind of hard to buy a house. Although some debts aren't counted against you in your debt to income ratio, like rent. Of course, you won't be paying rent if you're buying a house. The lender is going to get your VA eligibility certificate for you. So essentially, you don't have to do anything but provide them the information they ask for. Once all that happens, you can go home shopping and find the right house for you. So once we got you pre-approved, you're with your realtor, you're looking and you find the awesome Pimp House you want to buy, the next thing you need to do is write an offer. Now the agent is going to give you some guidelines of what you need to do to write the offer, and they're also going to give you some advice on what to offer. Don't buy exactly what you qualify for, because what you qualify for and what's in your budget are two different things. And the worst thing that you can have happen is end up in foreclosure because you purchased too much house. Keep in mind, this is your first purchase and you'll be able to buy that dream home later down the road, partly because you own your starter home. Once the offer is accepted, you're halfway home, but there's a lot of behind the scenes things that happen, including a bunch of inspections. Some of them include a septic inspection, well water inspection, and a termite inspection. Your realtor and your lender will help you through the process. Once all those come back, you can actually renegotiate and ask the seller for either a credit or to make the repairs that come out of those inspections. Most of the times they're willing to do it. At the same time, the lender is going to be reaching out to you, asking you for documents to get your loan in the approval process. Those documents could include pay stubs, tax returns, you know, things like that. Be sure to have them handy so you can get them to them as quickly as possible and keep your loan process on track so you can close on time. The appraisal's also ordered at this point, and VA is going to send a specific appraiser out to make sure that the home value is what the offer price is for or more. What VA says is that as a veteran, you should be able to buy the house for its appraised value or less. If it's more, you don't have to buy the house, but if you'd like to, you still can. You just have to pay the difference out of pocket. Also, the seller can reduce the price to meet the appraised value if they so choose. You also want to order insurance. Homeowners insurance is important to have. In fact, if you're getting a loan, you're required to have it. Your lender can give you some references on what insurance companies to use, and also your realtor can do that. What I recommend is that you get a quote from your car insurance company, because typically they give discounts for multi-policies. The lender's also going to get what's called a flood certification. They want to make sure that the house isn't in a flood zone, and if it is, what the flood zone rating is. If it's in too high of a flood zone, you'll have to get additional insurance. While that's happening, a licensed attorney or a title company is doing what's called a title search on the property. This is when they research the legal documentation and make sure that the seller can actually legally sell you the house, and you can get a deed to the house once it's time to close. So we're halfway through the process at this point. What do we need to do now? So one final thing I recommend any home buyer get, at least the first time they're buying a house, is a home warranty. A home warranty is going to cover basically the components of the house and things that aren't really that expensive and don't need to be filed on insurance. Like, for example, if your dishwasher goes out, the home warranty company will actually send a plumber out and fix it for you for a minimum trade cost. After all these steps, you're home free and it's time to close. The lender will get a final loan approval and you're closing. Congrats, you're now a homeowner. Now what do? Subscribe to my channel and learn some really cool tips and secrets on how to be an excellent homeowner and even pay your mortgage off early. If you want to buy a house or sell a house anywhere in the United States, you can call or text me or email me and I'll be happy to refer you to an agent in your area. Until next time, stay cool. What's some other interesting facts?
Did you say that they automatically thought they were?
Oh, where you decide not to buy the house. So that's it. All right. It's accepted. You're halfway home, but there's a lot of behind the scenes things that happen, and I'm going to give you some insight on what you, your realtor, and your attorney have to do to make sure. Hey folks, this is Edric Williams, and your name?
Cameron.
Cameron Williams, and Cameron wants to tell you something, so go ahead, Cameron.
I was here.
You just here? Why are you just here?
Because I like to, I just like to be with people when they're in